Good morning and happy Mother's Day. It is Sunday. Oh, listen, and the sun is out. Yesterday it was so cloudy here in Huntsville, Alabama. It was cloudy all day. And so I'm glad to be here with you this morning in our studio right here in Huntsville, Alabama. And we're going to be speaking about the P.I.L.L method. But listen, folks, we are in the Mortgage Syndicate Club. And what better place to share this information than right here? And folks, I can't wait to get started. We're going to bring up our moderator here, Mr. Jared Albritton. Jared, what's going on with you today, sir?
Hey, happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. Happy Sunday. Really excited to be inside the Mortgage Syndicate. It's only right where we're talking about how to pay off a 30 to 40-year mortgage in 7 years. So if you've never been in this room before, you're in for a treat. Pull out your notepads, but also come on stage, ask questions. We'd love for this room to be interactive. The more questions that are asked, the better experience for you as the person that's going to get some really, really impactful financial advice, but it's also going to be very impactful for everybody else in the room. And not only is this on Clubhouse, we're streaming this on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Twitter. And so if you want to see it on YouTube, I put in the chat very simply how you can go to your laptop, your iPad, or your desktop to see Don in the studio breaking down the numbers and showing you how he pays off the right amount of payment to get months and months and years of interest canceled, so that 30-year becomes a 7 to 9-year mortgage. You go to ice10kvideos.com on your laptop, desktop, or iPad. Go to the panel that says live, and you'll be able to see Don in the studio while you're in Clubhouse on the big screen breaking down the numbers. And it's going to be an amazing room. We'd love for you to share the room because this information is going to be really incredible for your network, because we're going to take the money that is going towards the banks for interest unnecessarily and redivert it to you and your families so you can invest in more real estate, so you can invest in things that make you happy, like vacations, that new house repair, whatever it is. And we're really excited to bring this room to Mortgage Syndicate. So share the room, take notes, raise your hands, and join us on YouTube if you're near a laptop, iPad, or desktop. We're going to do some moderator introductions before we get into the questions, but we want you to raise your hand, come on stage. It's a 2-hour room. It goes by really fast. And before you know it, the room is over. So raise your hand now, get in the queue. We'd love to answer your questions. But Don, please introduce yourself. Let everybody know what the P.I.L.L method is and what they can expect from today's room.
My name is Don Daniel, founder of P.I.L.L Method International, a better way to eliminate debt. And for the last 16 years, we've been helping clients cut their interest costs by 75%, therefore paying off all of their debt in an average of 7 to 9 years. We're doing this without having to refinance your budget. You don't need more money to get this done, and you can do this without sacrificing lifestyle. So understanding how amortization schedules work is very important. So we've kind of reduced this thing down to 4 moving parts. And that's what P.I.L.L method is all about. P-I-L-L, prepayment of principal, isolating the principal amount, leverage, and liquidity. Every single part of your loan somewhere fits into those 4 categories, and understanding it saves you a ton of money in interest, because it's not the amount of money that you borrowed that keeps you in debt forever. It's the cost of borrowing money that keeps you in debt forever. And we're going to help you to borrow your money on discount. Yes, that's right. Stop borrowing your money at retail and get it at wholesale. Jared, that's what we're going to be talking about today.
Amazing. Excited. And also, we do this room typically in the P.I.L.L Method Club, but this month we are giving a little roadshow so that we can share this information across multiple clubs. But if you want to follow, we want you to follow the original club, because we're going to do rooms there in the future. So click the link at the top. Make sure you follow the P.I.L.L method. If you're not following the Mortgage Syndicate, follow them as well. Both amazing clubs, but follow the P.I.L.L method. And when you follow the P.I.L.L method, you'll also be able to see a library of replays with a lot of great information. So we're going to go through some quick moderator introductions, then we're going to go straight to Copper with the question. Thank you, Copper Queen, for coming to the stage, and everybody else in the audience. This is a safe space. There are no dumb questions. Your accountant, your lawyer, your real estate agent, your mortgage broker, none of this know about this method. So Don't feel bad if asking a question. You can also ask questions about your car loan, your student loans, credit card debt as well, your refinance, anything regarding interest. Don has a solution for it. So my name is Jared. I've been in the tech space for over 15 years. That's what I tip rooms on Clubhouse, getting people tech roles, startups, getting funded, etc. I also talk about the metaverse, NFTs, and crypto, and I support a lot of real estate rooms. So if you're interested in following me, check me out on Clubhouse, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Instagram. Up next is 10K Cards.
Super good morning and happy Mother's Day to all the beautiful mothers in the building. I'm here to support my brother Don as usual. I believe in what he does. I believe in creating wealth for your family. And when you figure out a way to stop paying so much in interest, then it will definitely help you on your journey. So my role in the room basically is not only to endorse what Don is doing, but when you do get a copy of Don's book, you will receive with your purchase today a digital business card, a 10K card. So get ready to receive some great information, number one. Number two, ping any friends or family you have on Clubhouse into the room. Also, you can really read them to all of his social sites. When you click on the link, when you go to ice10klive.com, you'll be able to go on Twitter, on LinkedIn, on YouTube, and I believe on Facebook. So you don't have to be only here on Clubhouse. You can be on the other social platforms. With that said, guys, get ready for a beautiful session at the P.I.L.L Method. With that said, back to you, Jared.
Yep, and we're just going to go down the line. So Candace, Kenyatta, Lisa, and Ashley just pass the mic down to each other.
Hi, everybody. Happy Mother's Day to all you beautiful mothers today. But I wanted to be here to support Dawn. Just so you know, this is a fabulous room, especially what a better time to be discussing this with interest rates going up. I'm a licensed realtor here in Georgia and Florida, but I also deal with a lot of high net worth individuals on development and other real estate industry in the real estate industry. But definitely this is a great hot topic, and I know that Don has all the answers and can definitely solve it. So happy to be here to support, and I'll move the mic on to, is it Copper?
Nope, it's going to be Kenyatta. But
I'm sorry.
That's all right. Good morning, Candace.
Hi, Don.
Listen, I'm doing good. I'm surrounded by all of these mothers today. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for being here. You could have been anywhere else, and you're in here supporting me. We lost my mother last year. So listen, folks, I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you being here today.
We're here to support you, and we know how valuable this information is, and the more people that can have it, the better we all are. So thank you for all that you do. And Kenyatta, I'll pass it to you.
Good morning, good people. My name is Kenyatta. You can find me at kenyatta10k.com. And yes, Don, thank you for having this space. And the merger with Mortgage Syndicate is just bomb. And so basically, you guys, what I could do is help you reach your generational wealth quicker by helping you to find a deal, fund that deal, cancel the interest on that deal so we can get you in yet another deal. I can, as a realtor, I can do that as the official lender of the P.I.L.L Method family. And because I'm down with Don, I am also a cancellation agent. So please tap in with me if you need anything. I would love to assist. Good morning.
Lisa, please go for it.
Hey, good morning, everybody. I am here also to support Don, but mostly because his information is so incredible. Don, I'm sorry to hear about your mother. I feel like we've got a lot in common. My mother and I were both born in Huntsville, Alabama, and I lost my mother in 96, and then I became a mother and got the other perspective. I wish I were able to do both of them at the same time, but I am in Houston, Texas. I've got 4 kids, 3 companies, 4 dogs, and too much to do. But I am very interested in what Don has to say every day because I can't stop learning from you, Don. But also with everything that's going on in the market, I'm curious about your perspective on the changes in interest rate and moving forward. I was planning to refi a house that has a VA loan on it that I think we got at 2.75 in July. And so I'm curious as to just the state of the nation and what are the smart moves and how your method will help me figure all of that out. So thank you for having me. It's great to see everyone this morning. Morning, Candace. Morning, Sean. Love everybody.
All right, great. Yeah, we'll go after Copper. We'll definitely get into your question for sure. Ashley, you're up next.
Hey, y'all. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. Happy Mother's Day to all the ladies in the room, all the moms. Don, my condolences. It's good to be here to support you. Lisa, 4 kids, 4 dogs, 3 businesses. Girl. That's all I'm going
Right?
to say. That.
Exactly.
That's all I'm going to say. I'm Dr. Ashley D. Wilkerson. I'm the host and thought leader of the Phenomenal Women Leading Club and Community. It's an empowerment space for women to help to our next level and achieve this level of success that we desire and deserve personally and professionally. And I am tapped in today to support Don, the P.I.L.L method, and to listen and learn how to pay off mortgages in 7 years. Amazing content as always. Thanks so much for the invitation to join.
All right, all right. So let's go ahead and get into the content. We got Copper on the stage, but before we do, we have 46 people in the room. We have 4 shares so far. Would love for everybody to just share the room. So let me show you how to do that. There's that number 4 at the bottom, that little box sign with the arrow. Go ahead and click that. Click share on Clubhouse. It's the bottom option with the yellow hand. And then you go ahead and maybe say a statement like get in the room or, some emojis, and then click that blue share button. Now you see the number went from 4 to 5. We would love to have that number jump. So all the moderators, followed by the speakers, others in the room, let's share this room. Sharing is caring, and we want to give this info to the community. So up first is Copper. Please let Don know your question, and we're going to break it down. And again, if you want to see this on your computer screen, your laptop, your iPad, or your desktop, go to ice10kvideos.com. And if you want to see it written out, it's written in the chat. Copper, go for it.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers. My question this morning, I wanted to say I've actually been in this room before, and I was amazed at the information that I learned just by, strolling the streets of Clubhouse. So I thought I would ask because I'm a homeowner. I've been a homeowner since I was 24. I'll soon be 50. The area that I live in has upgraded a lot. The property value has really almost tripled. My issue is I'm self-employed. I've been self-employed all of my life. I do not have W-2s or anything like that other than um, uh, not bank statements, but my tax returns and bank statements to pretty much state my income. So I'm in the process of trying to figure out if I want to sell, rent, or whatever. But my issue is that I'm stuck with not having the proper documents to actually or possibly qualify or try to refinance my loan. The loan that I'm in, I got it modified some years ago, and I know the terms are probably crazy. So if I couldn't finance or whatever the situation may be, I just wanted to know what should I do from this point, or should I just take the loan that I'm in and try to do some of the methods that stated that I've heard to try to maybe possibly pay my mortgage off quicker, or should I just try to refinance? Because I know when I purchased my home, they were doing stated loans, which we know that was like ancient time. So now they don't do that. So I'm kind of stuck a little bit because I don't think I would be able to qualify paperwork wise to purchase. Not sure how would affect me with refinances, but I'm thinking in my mind that it will probably be the same. So if someone could give me just a little eye opener of where I may be able to start because I did have issues with my credit. Just maintaining my business over the last 12 years. Um, it kind of tore my credit up, but I'm repairing it, so I'm at the good status now. So with me about to turn 50, I look at the second stage of my life that I could possibly do something with my property that could financially benefit me and possibly my children in the future. So that's my spiel for this morning, Mother's Day.
Miss Copper, how are you? How are you?
I am wonderful. How are you?
Listen, I know you're wonderful. All right. Before I get into what we're talking about financially, can I'd like to do something a little different today because we have Dr. Ashley V. Wilkerson with us this morning. Dr. Wilkerson, are you present and available? Because I mean, she's got her girls. I know she's working, but she is a leader of a group called Phenomenal Leading Women. Okay.
Mhm.
And I want you to touch base with her because a lot of what we're going to be talking about is mindset. And you are a phenomenal leading woman. So, I mean, raising a family, doing your thing, keeping things going, being in business, a licensed cosmetologist. Is that correct?
Yes.
See, that's what we're talking about, sister. All right. You've got a lot of things going for you. And we need to be able to pump that up. All right. That's the first thing. So when you come on this stage and you talk about what you've been doing, I need a little more enthusiasm behind that.
Well, I was just trying to stay calm because my mind was
Come on.
going a mile a minute. So I was trying to just keep everything in line so I could say it all in one breath.
Okay. Okay. So first of all, you would be surprised at how things have changed in the last few years when it comes to borrowing money. First of all, let's talk about what your financial goals are, and then we can come up with a strategy as to what to do. Now, you mentioned refinancing. Why would you want to refinance? Give me the reason why, and we'll talk about that first.
Well, refinance was actually the last thing that I actually thought about. I really don't want to refinance, but
So, tell me, what is it that you'd like to do? And we'll talk about that.
well, I would like to keep the property and possibly make money off of it if I do decide to purchase something else.
Now we're talking. Now I know what you want to do. Okay. Now you're talking like a businesswoman. And Miss Ashley, anytime that you're ready, please flash your mic and come back in. All right. So listen, what we're talking about today is you have some equity in your house because that's the first thing I heard you say because I got that written down.
Yes.
You want to know what to do with that equity
Yes.
before it disappears because it can disappear.
Right.
All right. So, and what you're looking at possibly is either a HELOC, a home equity line of credit, or a cash out refi. But you're wondering, do you have the paperwork to to document what you're doing? And here's what I need you to do. All right. So, if are you writing down some notes?
Yes, I am.
Here's the first one. Don't disqualify yourself ever.
Okay.
Okay. Let a professional do it. Because see, when we go to a professional and because we may fear hearing something that's negative, it actually isn't because if we go to a professional who wants to that their whole business is lending money, anytime you go there, they're going to say, ooh, here comes somebody else I can help because everybody I help helps me and helps me to feed my family. So even if the paperwork isn't all there, guess who's going to be in the best position to help you to get it where it needs to be?
Got you.
They have a vested interest in making sure you look good to their institution so you can get your loan. Now, here's the other thing. All right. I need you, when you're going to the situations, answer the question asked. Whatever they ask, answer that question and that question only. Okay. Let me give you an example. Do you have the time, Copper? Do you have the time?
Yes.
Okay. And what was I asking you?
Do I have the time to listen to
No,
what
no, no,
I'm
no, no,
asking?
no, no, no. Do you have? So, see, I don't know what time it is. Do you have the time?
Oh yes, I have the time.
Okay, so I don't know what time it is, but you can tell me if I wanted to know, right?
Yes.
Okay, so you did that exactly right. Some people who if they know I need to know what time it is, they will tell me, Don, it's 8:51 Central Time. But that's not what I asked you. I just asked you, did you have the time? And you do. That's answering the question. If they ask you, do you have the time? And you say it's 8:52, that's not what they asked you. They didn't ask you to give me the time. They asked you if you had the time. Does that make sense?
Perfect sense.
So whatever they ask you, answer that question. Do not volunteer information. We have a habit of telling stories about our answers, and we think we need people to understand why the answer is the way it is. Don't do that when you're getting a loan.
Okay.
Okay?
Yes.
So we're going to walk you through some of this, and we've got some people on the stage that can help you to do that. I need you also to touch base with Miss Kenyatta Butcher, because guess who she is? She is our resident lending expert in the Pill Method Club.
Okay, I'm following them now.
All right, now where are you located? And
I'm located in Prince George's County, Maryland.
Okay. All right. I think we know somebody in the DC area. I'm sure Kenyatta can hook you up there. Do you know that we are linked up with a national lender,
Okay.
and who is a personal friend of mine and Kenyatta's?
Okay.
Okay. And all we have to do, and what he's telling us, is that things have changed in how we do this. And he is so dedicated to making sure that he has the right information. And his business partner, da, 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 is is a lender, is a wife, and a mom.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And she struggled to get to where she is. So listen, we're going to put you with people that not only can lend money, but that can understand your struggle.
Okay.
I was so happy today. What's getting ready to happen for you? Okay,
So the anxiety is starting to go down a little bit.
There you go, sister. That's what I'm talking about. All right. So they're there to help you do what you need to do. And I need you to touch base with Kenyatta so that we can get you there. And you've got equity, you've got a business, and Miss Cooper Home Loans, working with Kenyatta can get you what you need to. Now, if it's a business purpose loan, if you want to get money for a biz to buy a rental home, guess what?
But guess what, Don?
Guess what?
We both share a similar background.
No.
Yes, she is after my heart. Okay, so she's in the beauty industry, and that was my profession for a very, very long time. So we could chop it up about a lot of things. I don't even know if you understand all the things that's afforded to you.
Wow, you listen, you showed up at the right time, asked the right question this morning, Miss Copper.
Look, my phone, I just touched my phone and I heard you speaking. And I'm like, okay, my phone is on and it was on your channel. And I was like, let me listen in. So I was like, but let me ask the question now. So it was willed.
So let me ask you something. Did you didn't happen to be praying about your situation?
Yes, I was saying, I was just really like in my head, like, how am I going to do this?
Lord
I was
have
feeling
mercy.
stuck.
That's what I'm talking about. So you're not stuck. until the professionals say you're stuck. And they have a vested interest in, if you are stuck, getting you unstuck.
Okay.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Do you have any other questions for me this morning?
That's it.
Listen, I got you. I got you. All right. I need you to follow me, hit me up on the back channel, to work with Kenyatta. If what you need is something that has to do with residential lending, she can help get it done for you. But if you want, let's just say you wanted to get into purchasing a property to rent. Okay. Did you know that none of the paperwork you just mentioned matters?
Okay.
If that's what you want to do. Miss Kenyatta, can you tell her a little bit about
Oh my God, I'm over here busting at the seams. Like,
go ahead and talk to her about how she can borrow money without without any of that paperwork she was talking about, if she wants to rent property.
okay, so you know how we are not a W-2 employee and we're independent contractors and we don't have the normal, things that they ask for. Well, we actually have no doc loans. We actually don't. I cannot wait to get started with you. We space that we could use our bank statements if possible, or just our revenue stream. If you are taking your payment through like credit card processing and things like that, we could use that. We could get super duper creative. So I cannot wait to get started.
All right, Miss Copper. Listen, I hope you're listening to all of that, and to know that you came into the right place at the right time. Follow up with her, and listen, follow Miss Ashley, Dr. Ashley V. Wilkerson as well, and her group of phenomenal leading women, so we can level up our mindset. And listen, both these ladies, okay, are going to be part of my seminar coming up on May 20 through the 22nd in Nashville, Tennessee. I'm inviting everyone, if having the right mindset to get, I am, you know what, folks, I'm going to tell you right now. I'm going to stop right here. I'm 67 years old. 67 years old. I know I don't look it. Black don't crack. I've heard it all. All right. So listen. So somebody said, Don, what? This is your very first seminar. Your very first seminar. Why at a 5-star resort? Okay. Why are you doing it at a 5-star resort? Number two, you got the number one motivational speaker in the entire world. You hired him to come in. All right. We didn't start at number 10. We went straight to number 1. This is a 5-star resort. We have 16 other phenomenal speakers that are going to be there that are at the top of their game. Why did you start so aggressively? Because the number one motivational speaker, one of his talks is on being average. Folks, I'm 67 years old. I didn't have time to start out at average. I got to go to number 1. We did not have time to start out at average and grow it up to phenomenal. We had to start out at phenomenal. And that's what I want for you. Everyone here. So I am inviting you. We're going to talk about more about this, but I'm inviting you right now to click that link above your heads and to learn more about this. And I'm inviting you to level up your mindset. Okay. At 67 years old, I don't have time to start out at mediocre. I don't have time to start out halfway. I have to start at the top. And it takes a mindset to get you there. And I'm inviting you to be there. Jared, back to you. Who's next on the stage?
All right, we got Tish on the stage, and me and Tish have been back channeling, and she has a very, very good question that's probably on the minds of a lot of people in this room. So, Tish, would love for you to ask that question. And Don, I would love for you to break this down on the screen, which is at ice10kvideos.com, so that Tish and everybody else can understand clearly what the best options are in this scenario. So, Tish, you got it.
Morning, everyone. So yeah, I've seen this room for weeks, and I've always been just a little curious about, um, why would it be advantageous to pay off mortgage like rather quickly? I understand the concept of, how one could go about paying off a mortgage quickly, but, I'm just curious based on, just the topic of the room, if someone doesn't have the funds laying around to pay off, maybe fine, I understand paying off, making an extra payment every year, right? Or um, paying maybe $100 more on your mortgage, fine. Um, but pushing to pay it off in 7 years instead of using the cash for something else and having the equity sit. I'm just trying to understand, you know, the concept or why in it.
Ah, Miss Tish. What a fabulous, fabulous question. Thank you for coming to the stage today. Are you able to see our example on your laptop or your tablet?
Not right now, but what's the example? Is it, paying off a mortgage and saving on quickly to save on the interest?
Well, that's the focus. The focus is not to pay down your loan fast. It's to pay it down cheap. Okay. Let me ask you, because once we get into this, what you want to find out is whatever money I have, can it work for me in the way that I need it to? And we need to understand how lending actually works. Okay. Because the interest cost on these loans is tremendous, not the interest rate, but the interest cost. So if we're going to buy anything, you know what? I'm kind of fond of grapes. Do you like grapes, Miss Tish?
No, I like pineapples.
You like pineapple. I like pineapples. Okay. And so if pineapples are $8 a pound this week, are you buying pineapple even though you love them?
I buy pineapples no matter what the price.
But do you want to?
It's good for your gut health.
But do you want to spend
But
$8 a pound?
I prefer not to.
You would prefer not to. Okay, that's the point. So you pay attention to what you're paying per pound for pineapple. Are you paying attention to how much interest you're consuming each month?
In like my bills, I pay off credit cards.
In dollars and cents, do you have any idea how much interest you're consuming?
I guess I'm aware I'm not consuming much, but
Yes, but you're saying much, but do you know how much?
Less than $20.
Okay.
$10.
Do you have a mortgage?
It's paid off.
Okay, your mortgage is paid off. Okay. When you had a mortgage, were you aware of how much interest you were consuming?
I was. I threw extra money on it, right?
All right. But you know how much. So if you understand how much interest you're consuming each month, then when you put your extra money on, let's say in 1 month, did you have any idea how much interest you saved that month?
Back then, I mean, it's probably easy for me to look at the calculator. Chase was pretty good at having that.
I understand. I understand what you're
No,
saying.
let's say no. Let's say no.
All right. So you weren't aware. I'm not saying could you have figured it out. I'm asking you, were you aware of how much interest you saved? That's the question. And most people are not aware of, if I put an extra $200 on this month, I just saved X amount of dollars in interest. Did that ever occur to you?
I'm in tech, so it did. I mean, that's the whole reason of, throwing additional money, because you see where the interest is lower. You could see on the calculator.
Right. But you saw that it was you're saving interest specifically by putting $200 on a mortgage. Did it ever occur to you that this is exactly to the penny how much interest I saved but with this $200?
Let's just go with yes.
Okay, good. All right, so here's what I'm talking about here. I have a $200,000 mortgage on my screen right now. Okay, it's at 6% interest, and the payment is $11.99.10 for everybody who wants to see. Anybody who wants to see, let's get them in here so they can see what we're talking about. Because what I'm getting ready to show you is the power of the penny. Okay.
Yep, and I know people think you can visualize it with your head, but if if you have a laptop, computer, desktop, etc. near you, go to ice10kvideos.com. Again, ice10kvideos.com, and you'll actually be able to see the amortization schedule that the banks do not provide you. So you can see how much interest costs you save by the method he's doing. So if you want to see, read out the link slowly, go to the chat. I posted it several times.
All right.
You guys really want to see this because it shows you that no matter how much money you have, you can still win and attack that interest.
All right, Ms. Tish, you're going to be helping me out this morning, okay? So here's what we've got. We have our very first payment on this mortgage is $1,199.10. Since you can't see, I'll kind of read it out to you. $199.10 of this very first payment goes to principal. $1,000 goes to interest. Now, how fair is that?
What's the interest rate on?
It's 6% interest rate.
Right. So I think that's probably the issue. If I didn't have a 6% interest rate. Interest rate was low. I think that your credit is trumped. Affects that. So I understand if you have high interest rate, probably want to pay that mortgage.
We have to right now. I'm just trying to help you to understand how the loan actually works right now, because that's what you're asking me.
Right, but I understand. I'm just just background.
This is just good for the audience as well.
Oh, it's
might not have as much knowledge as you do. So
okay.
Yeah.
Because see, one of the things that we're going to be talking about, Ms. Tish, is that having a higher interest rate when it comes to mortgages, you're better off than a lower interest rate. But I need to set this up so that people can understand the numbers. We automatically assume that a 2.9% interest rate is better than a 6% interest rate. If you can afford the payment, you're better off at the 6% interest rate. Would you like to know how that is?
Yes.
Okay, but I need to give you some background information on it first so that it can be clear. So this is not just for you, but it's for everybody in the audience that wants to hear the answer to your question. How's that? Okay, so we have the first payment, $199.10 goes to principal, $1,000 goes to interest. That's the very first payment. Now on line 2 of this, let's say we make that payment this month. On line 2, we pay a little less interest and a little more principal. $200.10 goes to principal, and $999 in interest goes to $999 goes to the interest the next month. Follow me so far? And you can stay unmiked. Hello, Ms. Tish, because we can't hear you.
Sorry, I kind of lost you for a minute. You said 200 goes to interest?
$200.10 the next month goes to principal. $999 goes to interest, okay?
Okay.
Yeah, you can stay unmiked. I need you to help me.
Oh, I'm making a smoothie, so it's noisy.
Oh, okay. We need to go step by step here, okay? So here's my question to you. If next month I'm supposed to pay $200.10 in principal, do I have to wait till next month to give the bank this $200.10?
No, you don't.
If I had it, could I give it to the bank early in the same month? Can I give it to them this month?
I suppose you can.
All right. So if I do, guess what? I'm paid down to line 2 on my amortization schedule this month. I'm already at line 2. So I got rid of a whole line of my amortization schedule, not with $1,200 that the bank was looking for. I got rid of it for just $200.10. My next mortgage payment for next month has already skipped down to line 3 on my amortization schedule for $200. And the $999 in interest that I was supposed to pay on line 2, what happened to that $999?
Disappearing?
Yep, it disappeared. For $200, I got rid of one whole line of my amortization schedule, and I save $999 in interest that I never have to pay. Okay, so far so good.
I'm with you.
Okay, so that's almost $1,000. Let's just round it off to 1,000. I could save about $1,000 with $200. So what if I only had? What if I cut the amount I had available, because you mentioned that we may not have a whole lot of money, but I only have $100 to apply. I have half the money. If I apply that, did you realize I would save half the interest? I would save about $500 in interest. Correct?
Correct. So I guess you're telling the bank when you make the extra payment that it goes towards.
It would go towards the principal. Now, you have to tell them that if you have an escrow account. You don't have to tell them that if you don't have an escrow account. Because if you don't have an escrow account, extra money defaults to the escrow account. That's why you must tell the bank to apply it to principal. Make sense?
Oh, I hear you. Okay.
Okay. So now, if I apply $100 extra, I just save $500 in interest. Is that worth it to give them my $100?
I guess it makes common sense, I suppose.
Yeah. Well, I don't have $100. I only have $50. Now I'm only saving $250 worth of interest. Is it worth it?
I need to look at the amortization schedule.
I'm sorry?
No, it is worth it. Yes.
Okay. But if I only have $25 to apply, just a little bit of money, that saves me $125 in interest I don't need to pay. So should I be looking at how my $25 brings down my principal amount, or should I be looking at how much interest my $25 saves me?
I mean, I guess so. So in layman terms,
Yes.
what you're saying is, so I'm not looking at your schedule.
Mhm.
But the point is, to the extent that someone can pay down the interest, correct? So
Go ahead.
So let's use just a simple form. Let's just use this month, right? We're in the month of May. We have a mortgage payment.
Mhm.
What are you proposing?
Here's what I'm proposing is that you need to know, whatever you're doing, how much interest you can save per dollar applied, because everything comes down to unit cost. That's why I talked
Right.
about your pineapples.
Right. So we're paying, the interest is $300.
Mhm.
Mortgage payment is $1,000. So
Mhm.
just basic layman terms for that.
Well, and
What are we doing?
well, the basic thing is what we're doing is not basic. I'm just helping people to understand how the bank makes its money. My process to kill interest is much more complicated than what we're talking about. But we have to understand the basic math, because what we're telling folks is based on an individual's income and outgo. You can come up with the right amount of money in the right month on the right day of the month to kill the maximum amount of interest per dollar for the individual. So there is no easy way to tell a person exactly what to do, because everybody's different. But if we can just understand the basics, then we know why we need to come up with a plan to optimize our money, because we pay attention to what each and every dollar buys. So if it is possible to save about $6 in interest for every dollar applied, let's just say that's where we are. I can save $6 in interest for every dollar I apply to principal. Would you ever want to save $3 for every dollar you apply?
Yeah, my brain just doesn't work like that. I'm just trying to look at, like, take a month as an example. It's, and let's do the math. Maybe I just need to look at the calculation you're doing. But
Exactly. That's why it's so important. That's why.
As simple as possible. But there must be a simpler way done.
No, actually, there isn't. No, there.
Like, just an explanation of this. I'm just kind of like.
So Don, one thing that was helpful for me in the rooms is talking about interest rates versus interest cost. Because when you actually look at the interest cost percentage, it really makes you look differently at what the interest rate is.
Well, Let me put it this way. Maybe this will be helpful. On the loan that we have here, in 1 year, if we just pay it the way the bank wants us to, it will cost us. We pay this loan down by $2,456 and a penny. You follow me so far on that?
I am sorry. Yeah.
Good. And if we do it the bank's way, it will cost us $11,933.19 in interest to make those 12 monthly payments. Nearly $12,000 in interest just to pay the loan down by $2,456 and a penny.
Right. So what's the difference with just making an additional mortgage payment?
Well, here's my thing. If I know that I'm going to pay this loan down by $2,456 and a penny in a year, do I have to make it in 12 monthly installments? Or could I give it to the bank all at once if I had it?
You give it all at once for sure.
Right, but it's possible to just make that.
I understand, but you're asking me a specific question. I'm trying to help you to understand it. Okay. But if I pay that all at once, I've just paid off a year's worth of principal and saved myself $11,000 in interest I don't need to pay. So we have a choice. We can make these 12 payments and pay $12,000 in interest, or we can give the bank their money early and not pay $12,000 in interest. So when you add it all up, I've got to give the bank $14,000 doing it their way just to pay this loan down by $2,456. Why not just give them the $2,456 and skip the $12,000 in interest? What do you think about that?
Sounds good.
Okay. So any portion of the $2,456, the $300 or whatever it is, any portion of that will save me a significant amount of interest. Make sense? Ms. Tish, what we're looking at is you'll be able to go to YouTube and watch the replays on this. I've got the example right on the screen.
No, I gotcha. I'll take a look at. I'm sorry. I'll definitely take a look. I'm just trying to. Yeah. I hear you. It makes sense.
Mm-hmm. And I have
physically see it.
I have over 80 shows on this where we go over different scenarios on all of this. So eventually you'll get it. The problem with understanding interest cancellation is we have not been taught at all how much interest cancellation means or how much interest we're paying. At 3% interest, the same loan, the bank wants $103,000 in interest. So a $200,000 mortgage at 3%, over 30 years, the bank wants me to pay $103,000 in interest. That's not 3%. That's 51%. Agreed?
No, yeah, I agree.
Okay. So if we have at 4%, it actually jumps to 71% we have to pay back. At 5%, the bank wants 93% of what we borrowed in the form of interest. And at 6%, the bank wants 115.838% of what we borrowed in the form of interest. So is it the amount of money that we borrowed the problem, or is the cost of borrowing the money the problem? And we can mitigate the cost by knowing exactly what to do so that more of our money that we're actually making goes to principal instead of going to interest. So if the bank wants me to pay $100,000 in interest, but what if there's a way I can use my current budget, what I'm making right now? I don't need an extra dime. What if there's a way to give the bank back their money and only give them $25,000 in interest instead of $100,000 that they were looking for? Would we not be better off?
Absolutely.
All right, Ms. Tish, I hope that helps to answer your question.
Yep, and definitely check out the ice10kvideos.com. The replay will be there, and seeing the numbers for the way that he's breaking down the power of the penny is super, super helpful. And so anybody else in the room that wants to see these live on your screen, you can go to ice10kvideos.com on your laptop, desktop, or iPad, and it'll make it a lot easier to see the impact of these payments and the P.I.L.L method. And Don, real quick, I have ice10kreport.com up top so that people can get straight to the savings and earnings report. What is that, and how can people get in touch with you to learn more about their specific situation and how they can take that 30-year and pay it off in 7 to 9 years?
Ladies and gentlemen, what we're talking about here is not just paying off mortgages, but paying off your mortgage, your student loans, your credit cards, your car loans, everything in an average of 7 to 9 years by disrupting the bank's timing. You can do all of this with your current budget. You don't need more money to get out of debt. You need to pay less interest. And by understanding the timing, you can using your current budget, you can now give the bank back their money in an average of 7 to 9 years because you will pay less interest. So go to that link that you see at the top of the screen. Get a savings and earnings report. Follow the directions. Then when you follow the directions, you will be let into our financial form. Put your financial data in there. We'll be able to tell you the month, day, and year you can be debt free and how much interest you can save. All right. And then what do you do with the interest savings? Now we're going to talk about the money that you didn't have to pay in interest, how you can use that money to develop your own personal bank and start gearing up towards developing generational wealth. That is what we're talking about today, folks. So go to that link above, or go to ice10klive.com, ice10klive.com, and click the link that says get a savings and earnings report. All right, Jared, back to you, sir.
All right. And I just want to welcome the new moderators on the stage, Credit Goddess, B. James, DM Woods, and Windy City. If you don't know, your hallway is curated by who you follow, and the people you follow will give you access to the best rooms on Clubhouse. And Credit Goddess, B. James, DM Woods, and Windy City, as long as with Ashley, Lisa, Kenyatta, Candace, and 10K, have some of the best rooms on Clubhouse. And most importantly, if you're not following Don, make sure you click Don's profile, give him a follow, click the always on notification, because whenever Don's on the stage, you can be rest assured he's around the best real estate and wealth generational wealth generating professionals on Clubhouse. So thank you all for being here. And because the stage is pretty full, I'm going to wait to do moderator intros after this next question. So we have Lisa had a question before. So Lisa, what was your question, and how can Don help? All right, Lisa might not be around. Jason, thanks for coming to the stage. Very nice looking dog in your PTR. What is your question, and how can we help? Jason, if you're speaking, we can't hear you. You have to go to the bottom right-hand corner and click that microphone icon. All right, so Alfonso, you're lucky. We're going to skip some people. Oh, there you go. Jason, you there?
Oh, yes, I'm here. Sorry about that.
No problem. What's your question?
I purchased a home back in March before last. I'm totally interested in cutting down my interest payments, as y'all been speaking about.
Okay, Jason, can I get a little bit of information about your mortgage here?
Yes.
All right. Hold on for a second. Can you actually see the example that I can put on the screen, or you're not in a position to see it?
All right, hold on. I'm on my phone, so how do I go about?
You don't want to see it on your phone. Are you next to a tablet or computer?
Laptop. I can get on my laptop
Great, because we want to be able to talk to you and you want to be able to see it. So you want to go to ice10kvideos.com.
Yes, sir.
All right. While that's coming up, tell me a little bit about your loan. I need to know where it started 2 years ago.
Okay, I'm on the Outer Banks of North Carolina.
Mm-hmm. All right. Listen, already, I need to know, do you have an extra room to rent out? Because I'm coming.
I'm currently renting the extra room out.
Dang it.
Out to J1 students. I packed 4 of them in each room. They pay $150 a week.
Never mind. Doggone it.
New on this property. I'm trying to acquire more properties. Outer Banks, North Carolina is a prime vacation destination. Most of the houses here are rental houses, Airbnbs, VRBOs.
All right. Well, don't listen. When you, next one you get, make sure you DM me.
Yes, sir. They'll be gone by August.
All right. So tell me about this loan. Where did it start?
Like the price?
Yep. Mm-hmm. How much did you borrow?
I bought the house from my mother. The house is worth around $400K right now.
Okay. Don't confuse me with a lot of numbers.
I'm just trying to get you as much info.
No, I just told somebody else, when it comes to this stuff, only answer the question asked.
Yes, sir.
All right. So how much did the loan start out as?
$180,000.
180,000. Great. Interest rate?
3.2.
3.25.
3.25.
3.25. Is it a 30-year loan?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So your principal and interest payment is right around $783.37. I'm not counting in the taxes and insurance because they don't help us to pay down the loan.
Gotcha.
All right. So on your very first, when you sign this thing, we have the bank wanted you to pay on your $180,000. Okay.
Yes, sir.
$102,013.20. So here's my question: is 102,000? Is that 3.25% of 180,000?
I imagine that's that over 30 years.
Yeah.
So
No, it's actually 56%.
Yes.
That's 56% of what you borrowed. So first of all, the 3.25% interest rate gets us in a certain mindset that these loans are cheap.
Yes.
And they're not.
No.
So we need to figure out how much interest we could actually save on this loan. So that's what you asked. Okay.
Yes, sir.
All righty. So tell me, is there anything else besides the interest that's bothering you about this loan, or do you have other financial goals that you want to? How do you want to affect this, and why?
Well, first of all, I don't like paying more money than I need to pay.
Okay.
And I can't stand banks, so giving them more money is just something I am really against.
All right. Listen, I'm against it too, but I'm telling you, I love the bank. You know why?
Why is that?
Because I found out how to rent my money, because interest is nothing more than rent on your money, right?
Yes, sir.
I've learned how to rent my money at a discount, 75% off.
Oh, wow.
All right. So it sounds like
something I definitely don't know how to do.
It sounds like you're a real estate investor.
I am aspiring.
Okay. Do you have you already started to set aside a little bit of money so that you can do repairs, or to just to keep everything in good repair on the property you do have?
I do. I have a cushion.
There you go. You got a cushion. Okay, great. So, so some of that money that you're bringing in, are you reinvesting some of that money, or do you have plans to reinvest that money?
I have no current plans for that money. I'm trying to figure that out. That would be either putting towards this home or putting towards a down payment on another home. I'm more leaning towards the down payment on an investment property just so I could generate more revenue.
All right. So then that means you have, if you don't mind, can you tell us about how much money you have saved up?
About 16,500.
16,500. Okay, great. So now here's what we're talking about. I need you to kind of picture this. Let me know if you can see on your screen yet our example on YouTube.
I'm in the ICE Learning Center.
So you want to go to ICE 10K, ICE the number 10, the letter K, videos.com. ICE 10K videos.com. That'll take you to our YouTube channel.
Okay, awesome.
And then click on the one that says live. And what I have on the screen here, I have 180,000 at 3.25%, 360 months or 30 years, and a principal and interest payment of $783.37. That's what I have on the screen. Let me know if you have gotten to our YouTube channel yet.
Not yet.
Okay. And you're going to ice10kvideos.com. And ICE stands for interest cancel.
How to pay off your mortgage in 7 years.
There you go. And you got the live stream?
It says it.
Well, you got to skip by the commercial. Got to wait about 5 seconds or so.
All right.
See all of these.
I am technically challenged.
That's okay, man. We got a little bit of time. We got a little bit of time.
All right. It says live show starts in 4 minutes and 53 seconds.
Oh no, you're on the wrong one. You didn't click on the one that says. There's a one that says got like a glowing red button that says live. That's the one we're on now. Yeah, you don't want to see. You don't want to see an old one. You want to see a new one. The one we're on now.
I'm trying to get there.
Okay. Well, anyway, while you're trying,
I'm gonna get my son in here because.
All right. Well, while you're trying to, while you're doing that, I will explain to you how this is working. Okay.
Hey, Don, this is DM. I just text Jason the link in his back channel.
Yeah.
So you should be able to just click that and go right to it.
Thank you. All right. So here's what we've got. You've got $295.87 going to principal. You got me?
Yes, sir.
All right. And the very first payment, $487.50 goes to interest. Is that what you're talking about?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is how we avoid it. Now, I'm going to explain to you how a mortgage works. I'm not necessarily explaining to you how our program works yet. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So the bank has kind of figured out using an algorithm how much principal and interest you pay on each one of these payments. And as you can see here, too much of your money is going to interest. Because we do this at the bank's timing. If we do it on the bank's timing, that is problematic. What if we gave the money back to them with our own timing? So if let's say we made this payment this month, do you know that next month's principal payment goes up to $296.67? And instead of $487.50 worth of interest, we drop down to $486 going to interest next month. Still not good shape, are we?
No, sir.
Okay. So that now, if I can see, now when you're able to see this, you're going to be able to see that $296.67 goes to principal next month. Here's my question. Do you have to wait till next month to give the bank $296?
No, sir.
If you had it, could you give it to them this month?
Yes, sir.
Did you realize when you do that, the payment number 2 disappears for only $296? It's gone. Eliminated.
And how do you figure that out?
Well, the thing is that the bank wants, if you paid it next month, would number 2 payment be gone because you've given them the $296?
Hypothetically, it should be.
Right. Well, if you give it to them early, you give them the $296 early, payment number 2 still has to be gone.
So what you're saying, if I just had principal payments each month of X amount, it's going to knock my interest down?
Yes. And what I'm trying to say is right now we need to understand how the bank makes its money so that we can come up with a strategy.
Okay.
All right. So they make their money by you waiting every single month to give them the money so they can keep charging you $486 in interest. That is how the game is played. But if you give it to them early, you eliminate a whole payment with $296. And the interest on that line is also eliminated, $486.70 you just saved that you never have to give the bank.
That's awesome.
All right. Now, what if just looking at the principal payment, right? We're just looking at the principal payment. What if we give the bank the next 3 principal payments? I give them my mortgage payment this month, but I give them the $296 for line 2, the $297 for line 3, and the $298 for line 4. Do I get rid of lines 2, 3, and 4 because I didn't wait to give them that money?
No.
Yes, you do.
Yes. Okay.
Yes. 2, 3, and 4 are now gone. And the interest costs on 2, 3, and 4 are now gone. So you go immediately from line 1 to line 5 on your amortization schedule for a lot less money.
Okay.
You like that?
I love it.
All right. So now you said you had about 16 grand in the bank.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And it's sitting in a checking account or a savings account?
It's in UST collecting interest.
Okay. So, but you have access to it anytime you want, correct?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Did you realize in 1 year, by making this mortgage payments every month on time, you pay this loan down by $3,600? It's paid down by.
I notice I don't see a whole lot going off my principal when I make payments.
Right. So you got $3,600 coming off in 1 year. But the reason why you don't see a whole lot coming off is because you had to pay them $5,796 of your money went to interest.
So just paying more of that early can knock chunks off the interest.
So here's my question to you.
Is that just by knocking down my balance for the further years down the road?
Well, no, here's what you want. You want to know each month costs you some interest, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. So over a year, there is a certain interest cost over a year.
Yes, sir.
But if we give the bank their money over a year, we're going to pay them a lot of interest, aren't we? Because we're doing it on their timing.
Absolutely.
So in 1 year, if I'm supposed to pay them $3,600, do I have to pay that $3,600 in 12 monthly installments?
No, sir.
What if I borrowed $3,600 from now I'm not saying this is what you should do. I'm just giving you some numbers here. From my $16,000 stash. Mm-hmm. If I gave that to them on line 1, would I be paid down to line 12 in just 1 month instead of over 12 months?
So you're telling me I could pay off what I owe them in January and not have to pay interest for the rest of the year, or everything I'm paying for the rest of the year is going off the top?
Exactly.
Holy shit!
So
that's legit.
So you're paid, yeah. Well,
my lender's not going to look at me like, oh yeah, well, that's not how it works, guy.
Well,
we want our money regardless.
let's put it like this. Can I ask you a couple of questions about that?
Absolutely.
Okay. Let's say we're back 2 years ago when you first got this loan, right?
Yes, sir.
And your long lost uncle, rest his soul, left you $3 million. Woo. All right. And you decided you were going to stroke a check for the rest of what you owe. You're going to listen. I'm just going to pay off the $179,000.
Yes, sir.
Write a check to them. All right. And once you give them that check, how would you feel if they came back to you and said, you know, all those interest payments we were looking for the next 30 years, we want that money? What would you tell them?
I tell them to holler at me when they sober.
So if you can get rid of all the interest payments, how come you can't get rid of some of them?
You're absolutely right.
Come on, man.
Ooh, why doesn't everybody know this stuff, man?
Because for the last 88 years, nobody's been teaching it. We've been paying mortgages like this since 1934. And the P.I.L.L method is the only place you get this information.
It's funny, the elite have gotten nothing but richer since then either.
Listen, man, nobody knows this. I don't care. Do you know who Grant Cardone is?
I do.
We did a whole room on Grant Cardone Friday. Okay. The one you were probably clicking on was that one. And he was talking about higher interest rates and how that's knocking people out of borrowing money and getting into the game. And we refuted all of that. Not even Grant Cardone understands how a loan works. He understands investing. He understands multifamily. He knows how to make, and he's a billionaire doing it. But he's a billionaire paying 75% more interest than he needs to, because he doesn't know this either. What if he didn't pay all of that interest? How rich would he be if he could invest that money he's actually paying in interest he doesn't have to pay?
Well, he could be knocking on Elon Musk's door.
That's what I'm talking about, okay? All right. So listen to this. Here's what we've got, okay? So we've got this money that we could prepay and save all of that interest. How does that make you feel now?
It feels amazing. I'm going to start paying what I owe the bank in January.
So now here's what you can do, all right? What if there was a way to know exactly how much to pay, what month to pay it in, what day of the month to pay it on, so that we can maximize the amount of interest that I'm saving per dollar?
That would be amazing.
Okay, so we have what's called an opportunity cost calculator. We have a computer that beats the bank's computer at their own game. So what we want you to do is pay the least amount of money you possibly can at the right time to maximize the amount of interest you can save per dollar. That's called optimization. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
All right. So if we can save $6 in interest for every dollar applied, do you want to save 3 instead?
I want to save as much as humanly possible.
There you go. And that's how you get out of debt, by not paying the interest, not taking all of your money and just willy-nilly throwing it at the principal without regard to how much interest you're saving. Now you can know why you're actually doing this. I want to save the maximum amount of interest that we could. Right now, the bank wants from you on your loan $102,000. You know, my average client is only going to pay about $20,000 in interest on this loan.
Oh, wow.
And be done with it in about 7 years.
That would be incredible.
Without having to make more money and without having to sacrifice lifestyle. You can live well while you're doing it.
Without
having to make more money. Oh, somebody found it for you.
I found it.
All right. Turn down the volume on the computer.
Yes, sir.
Because I can hear me in the background.
All right.
I like me. I just don't like hearing me.
Gotcha. I'm on.
All right. Now that you can see it, now can you see the numbers that I'm talking about?
Yes, sir. These are my numbers.
The $295.87 and the $487.50. And the examples that I showed you is that if we pay on line 2, if we pay that early, we don't have to pay this interest on line 2. The $486.70 is saved.
Okay.
And my next mortgage payment for next month is here on line 3. So do you see cumulative principal and cumulative interest on the screen? That's column 3 and column 4.
Yes, sir.
All right. Column 3 adds up all the interest. Column 3 adds up all the principal for 1 year. So if you go down to line 12, how much principal is that?
Line 12, we're at $3,630.
Exactly. And how much interest do they want? Cumulative interest.
5,700.
So do you see how they add the 5,700 up at 12 months worth of interest that they add up? You see?
Yes, sir.
So if I give them this money up front, it makes it impossible for them to charge me the interest between line 2 and line 12.
Yes, sir. It sure does.
So if you have to give them this money anyway, right?
Yes, sir.
You give it to them all at once, then you don't have to pay them $5,796.65 to pay your loan down to $176,396 here on line 12. You do it for only $487.50, the interest on line 1.
Okay, and how do I do this?
Oh, well.
Glad I asked.
I'm glad you asked. So you want to move the right amount of money in the right month on the right day of the month, so you don't leave yourself cash poor, and so you can continue to save and make money while you're doing this, correct?
Yes, sir.
So if you go to ice10klive.com, so you want to write that down, ice10klive.com, you will see a button that says get a savings and earnings report.
I already ahead of you on that one.
All right. So fill out the information there, and then we'll show you. You will work with you. We got customer service. We have coaching that's going to be able to be there with you so that you can learn the system so that you can get out of debt a lot faster. And I want to show you one thing that's on the screen. Are you still looking at the screen?
Yes, sir.
So let me ask you this. If I give the bank 3603.79 this month, and I'm paid down to here in 1 month, my next mortgage payment for June is on what line of this schedule?
I'm not seeing that. I'm just seeing where it says go to ICE 10K Live.
Oh, okay. All right. So we've paid down to line 12 in 1 month. If I'm paid down to line 12 in 1 month, then my next mortgage payment for next month is on what line? If I'm down to line 12.
We're on line 12, then our next would be 13.
Exactly. So next month's payment is actually the one for line 13, where I'm paying $305.63 in principal and $477.74 in interest. That is next. So by giving them a year's worth of principal does not mean I don't have to pay them any money for the next year. What it means is I get deeper into my amortization schedule earlier. I'm knocking off 11 payments I never have to make.
That's amazing.
And what if I look at, let me build up my stash for 2 or 3 months, right?
Yes, sir.
And then do it again.
Okay.
What if I build it up for another 2 or 3 months and do it again? I'll be out of debt in about 7 years.
Yes, sir.
Using money I'm keeping on the side, sitting in this account.
I can use this method for vehicle payments and everything.
Everything. See, it's the interest cost that's killing us.
Oh, absolutely.
All right. Does that help you to understand what's going on?
Yes, sir. This is going to help me see money knocking off that balance.
All right.
That I desperately want to see.
So now here's the next thing you want to think about. Do not pay too much money at the wrong time, because then we start to violate the law of diminished return. There's a point at which more is too much. Okay? If I can save, let's just say on your loan, you can save $6 for every dollar you pay. You don't want to pay too much and have that go down to $5 for every dollar or $4 for every dollar. That can happen if you pay too much. We're going to help you to understand why that happens in amortization. A lot of things that we do is actually turns out to be the wrong thing to do because of how amortization works. Okay?
Yes, sir.
So now you have a 3.25% interest rate on this loan.
Yes, sir.
Are you looking at the loan again? Are you back on the loan now? Please go back. Maybe you can just hit the back button and go back. So if your son or who's ever helping you, with bringing something up, bring it up in a new tab. That way you don't have to get rid of your old tab. So let me know when you're back on the screen and you can see this. Because this
interest payment sheets.
Yeah. So you're on that now?
Yes, sir.
All right. So I'm going to show you something that you didn't know to be true. Okay.
All right.
I'm going to duplicate this tab. I've got put your $180,000 on here. Right now, the interest rates are hovering right around 5.5%. Same loan, 5.5%. Aren't you glad you got it at the interest rate you did?
Absolutely.
Okay, because now look at this payment. It's $1,022.02.
Wow.
Okay, instead of the 783 that we have now. All right.
Yes, sir.
So here's what I need you to see. At 5.5%, I need you to take a look at your principal payments now on this loan. Can you see it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Are your principal payments smaller?
Yes, sir.
So at 5.5%, is it easier? Is it easier to come up with $197.92 to knock out one payment, or the $296 that we had before at the lesser interest rate?
It'd be easier to pay the less amount.
Okay, let me show you something here. I'm back on your original loan now. Remember when I was talking about taking $3,600 out of the bank account?
Yes, sir.
And applying it to the loan and knocking off 12 months worth of payments?
Yes, sir.
At the higher interest rate, look what it does. Let me know when you see the 197 in principal. Because there's a little delay here.
Okay.
You got it?
It's 783.37.
Right.
Calculate.
Okay. Now
22.
take a look at the cumulative principal. If I prepay $3,600 now, how many lines do I eliminate? Go down to $3,600 in cumulative principal. That takes us all the way down to line what?
12.
Not on the one I have on the screen now.
3,600.
Yep.
12. Cumulative principal.
Yep. Takes us all the way down to line 18.
Oh, wow. It does.
That's at the higher interest rate. So if you're working with a certain amount of money, are you better off prepaying this loan at the lower interest rate or at the higher one?
Wow. That's weird.
This is what Grant Cardone doesn't understand, because nobody taught him either.
Wow.
So
this current interest rate isn't too obscene after all, huh?
if you can afford the payment, you're better off. And most people don't know that. We have been sold a bill of goods saying the best interest rate are the lowest ones, without anybody ever doing the math to show us why. We just accepted that information to be true.
That is insane.
Isn't it? So if I'm going to put $3,600 on this loan, see, then they'll say, well, Don, about the interest cost is higher. But guess what? Interest costs I skip don't matter. I just skip 17 interest payments I don't need to make. Do I care what they are?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Not our concern.
Not our concern. This is what the bank was hoping to get, and now they're not going to get. But by them raising my interest rate, I can lower my interest cost overall if I know what to do.
Yes, sir.
Does this make sense to you, sir?
Absolutely. What is the best way I should go to do this?
Listen, we already gave it to you, and not only that, but we can help you to figure out the right.
3,600 up front.
Right. We can show you how to get the best interest rate for you and your income once you really get hot and heavy into your real estate investing world. P.I.L.L method can help you there.
So basically, in other words, what you're saying is just pay off what you owe them in principal at the beginning of the year to cut out the interest for the year.
No, that's not what I'm saying at all. I'm just saying,
okay,
you can do that, but that may not be the right thing for you. I'm just showing you basics here. Everybody tries to get this down to a rule of thumb. There is no rule of thumb. There's only doing the right thing at the right time for you. Now, so the guy who lives in Nashville, Tennessee, that talks about cutting up your credit cards and eating beans and rice 6 or 7 days a week, that guy, he gives the same advice to everybody.
Okay.
Would you go to a doctor that gave the same treatment plan for every disease for every patient?
Absolutely not.
Then why is everybody going to him and he's giving them the same advice? Shouldn't we have a program that for our finances and our finances alone? Because I'm different from my neighbor, from my cousin, from my.
Absolutely.
So we're going to come up with a plan that is specific to you so that you will know the right month, the right amount of money, the right day of the month, and which loan to attack to save the maximum amount of interest possible for you.
Awesome.
It comes down to that. There is no rule of thumb. It's called a heuristic when you do that and you come up with something simple like that, when in fact the biggest buildings downtown are the bank. And don't you think they know exactly what to do and when to make their money?
Oh, absolutely.
And we can come up with a plan that works for everybody, could do the same thing all the time, and we can beat them at their own game? Oh, no. We have to have something specific to beat them at their game because they're good at it.
That they are.
Okay. Now, I like baseball. I like football. And I know a little bit in basketball. I know a little bit about the rules and the strategy on those games. Okay.
Yes, sir.
But I know absolutely nothing about cricket.
I don't either.
Okay. And nobody wants me on their cricket team. How come?
Because you don't know a damn thing about cricket.
Exactly. So how are we trying to beat the bank at their game and we don't know anything about how they're playing it?
Possible.
That's where we come in. Because for the last 16 years, we've been studying it. And we do all the math for you and just follow it like a financial GPS.
Jason, thank you so much for coming to the stage, man. Amazing energy, great question. And your question has surely helped a lot of people in the audience.
Man,
so really,
thanks y'all so much.
Awesome. All right. So, Jason, thanks for the question. And Don, real quick.
Yes.
For those that aren't familiar, don't know, they're probably mind blown the way Jason is. And they're like, man, I've never heard this concept before. You have a best-selling book that breaks down this concept. Can you tell people a little bit about that?
Yes. Go to ice10klive.com. You will see a button there that says get our book. And this book, and Jason and everybody else who's on the stage, this book is the only one out of 33 million books on Amazon that talks about what we just learned today. That's why no one knows about it, because nobody's writing about it. Nobody's talking about it. You only get that information here. You want to get that book today and start re-educating yourself on how loans actually work and how to defeat the bank at their own system. We're giving you the rules to the game here, folks. And then introducing you to a opportunity cost calculator that does all the math for you and gives you prompts as to what to do, how much money to move, what day to move it on, which loan to attack, and we're going to figure out for you the most amount of interest you can save per dollar with each move. There's nothing on the planet like it. Get the book. start understanding it, and we're going to give you a 10K card that goes along with it, a digital business card. Is there anyone in here? Is 10K around to talk about how valuable his card is? Is he around? I guess not. But folks, if you click on that link above, you see my 10K card. And if you want one, we're going to explain to you, once you get the book, how you're going to get a 10K card, which is a $100 value that I'm going to pay for you. Miss Kenyatta, are you in the house?
I am. So what you want to do is screenshot that receipt, go to ice10klive.com and upload it to where it says I'm ready. When you find that link, go ahead and smash it and then build out your card to your specifications. You want to put your website, your email address, phone number, social media handles. Let us know where to receive or where to drop that card off for you to receive it, and you'll have your very own digital 10K card value at $100 in an hour or less.
All right, Jared, do we have any other questions on stage?
Yes, we got two more questions. We got Alonzo and Mitch. Thank you so much for coming to the stage. We appreciate your patience. And real quick, Alonzo and Mitch, just hang with me real quick. I want to give the new moderators a chance to quickly introduce themselves. We just really appreciate them supporting the room. And so if we go from Credit Artist, DM, Wendy, and Dr. Jackal, if you could give a 30-second intro real quick. We just want to make sure everybody knows who you are and what you bring to the table. And before they do so, I recommend that you click on every single profile and give them all a follow, along with Ashley, Lisa, Kenyatta, 10K cards, and especially Don Daniels. Make sure you follow everybody on stage. Your hallway's curated by who you follow. But Credit Goddess, please introduce yourself.
Hey, I'm gonna be really quick because I'm loving all these light bulbs that's going out here. It's shining bright on this Sunday. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers down there. My name is Rose Laura Lewis. I'm a credit score improvement strategist. You guys can go ahead and read my bio if you guys are interested in my services. The number is in my bio. Send your name and email address. Next, I think it's DM Woods.
Yeah, what's going on, everybody? Hey, my name is DM Woods, a dating coach and also a #1 bestseller twice. And I'm just happy to be here. I love the talk about finances, interests, and all of the schedules that we have when it comes to money. A lot of people don't know, but my 9 to 5, I'm actually a commercial lender and been in the banking industry for over a decade. So I'm loving the talk. I'm loving the conversation. I look at a lot of these calendars pretty frequently, believe it or not. But it's good to be able to share this knowledge and spread it out and just look at different things different ways. So, man, Don, I really appreciate you doing your thing, man. Keep doing it.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Wendy. I am from Chicago, Illinois. I just enjoy these rooms. I am tired. So good morning. But I am grateful to be here to learn more because every time I come into this room, I learn more from the questions that are asked. If you are in the need for a mortgage, the role I play is doing your taxes. I own an
We lost her.
Oh, was I talking?
Yeah, we lost you and we couldn't hear you.
I think that's my, but sorry about that. Alfonso, thank you so much for coming to the stage. Please let us know what your question.
Hey, I do have a quick question. I think most of this information was very good, but my question is, do the banks penalize you from paying down your principal early, or do they prevent you from paying it down early?
Okay, so here's the thing, Alfonso. In your loan, you have on your mortgage note page, it says something like this: you have the right to prepay this mortgage. It's your right to do it. All you have to do is let us know in the way we need to be communicated with. Let us know what you want us to do with that money and how you want it applied. And you can prepay the loan. Okay. Now, do you know how many refinances go on every year, Alonzo? A ton of them. Wouldn't you say that? Did you realize that every refinance means they have to pay off the old loan and give you a new one?
Yeah, correct.
That's what. So if the banks are paying their own loans off, why can't we?
Yeah, I was just thinking sometimes it may be tricky, or they may write up the loan to benefit.
Oh my God. Somebody entered the room. I don't know how we're going to get it back. Let me work on getting it back. So let's put something up so the folks online can actually see see something while I work to quickly turn this room back on.
All right, all right. So we are working to get the room started back up, everybody. For the 15 of you that are online, we want to thank you guys so much for coming and hanging out with us and seeing the examples live on your screen. There's so much value in what is being shared. We want to encourage your comments as well. The folks on Clubhouse, some of you probably made your way over from Clubhouse, which is cool. And we're excited that you're able to come over and see some of the examples. But we also want to encourage your questions here as well. 17 of you are on the live now, so that number is going up. We appreciate you guys jumping in here with us. So let us know in the comments section while Don is working on getting that Clubhouse room open back up, or at a minimum to restart something on Clubhouse. If that room has been ended, then we won't be able to necessarily get everybody back the same way, or at least not the same room that we had before. But that's actually a great opportunity for all of you. Here we have an opportunity for you guys to have your questions answered. You can put your questions in the chat right now. Would love to be able to engage with you in that way while we continue to work on some things. So Alfonso Lewis has joined us on YouTube, Don.
Yep.
So he says, hey, I was on the line with my question. So Alfonso, go ahead and ask your question.
Well, I got to work.
Chat.
Go ahead and do that. Get that set up while
And while you're asking, something happened with our Clubhouse room. And yes, Alfonso, we were on your question. So please, by all means, come on through. Ask your question again. I think you were asking something along the lines of what is there a penalty for doing this method? Of course, we are all blown away by the method itself and the way that the bank makes their money. Once we understand how the bank makes their money, then we can essentially put in methods and means and practices to be able to beat them at their game. Now, I always hear Don say that this is not the P.I.L.L method. This is just the way the banks make their money. And once you understand that, then you recognize that there are some calculations, mathematical calculations that are necessary to be able to really leverage this scenario, leverage the way they make their money to your own benefit, and then essentially create your own bank. So Alfonso, if that was your question, we want to get to that question, but we also see that Nicole has joined us online as well, Don. And so Nicole is asking a question as well. Do you risk having late payments counted against you if you prepay and take a couple months to build another large payment? And so Don is still working on some things, and so he's going to correct me if I'm wrong here. I'm just diving in. I am a P.I.L.L method client, so my family and I are on the P.I.L.L method. But what he was showing you there, I think a lot of the times this is the piece that is a little bit somewhat confusing. If you choose to pay multiple, let's say, he was showing that line 1, line 2, line 3, all the way down to line 12. Let's say you choose to pay that. That's why he uses the terminology, your next month's payment is on what line of the schedule. You cannot skip a monthly payment. You have to continue to make your monthly payment, Nicole. I had that misunderstanding as well. You do have to make your monthly payments. That is definitely necessary. So to answer your question, if you take a couple months to build back up for another large payment, yes, you will have late payments. You will miss those payments. So what he was talking about is, if let's say you have enough money right now.
Let's go ahead.
We're back up. We're back up.
Oh, Don is going to take back over. I'm going to shut up because he's the one that's got the information for you guys. But Alfonso is asking a similar question. Would the bank prevent you from making early payments? Also, when you make early payments, do you still have to make the next month's payment? So I think some clarity around that, Don, is going to help everybody out.
All right, good. So we're back. Can you hear Clubhouse now?
Yes, I can.
Okay, great.
But from my standpoint, right, in my scenario, if the tenants which are paying the mortgage, which essentially they are paying the interest, the cash that I'm having every month, right, essentially is saved. So that way the idea is to leverage. So I'm saving that money for down payment for some sort of property, X property in the future. If I take that money and I pay off the mortgage for investment properties, then that money essentially is gone. So I'm trying to figure out what, from an investment perspective, what are some scenarios where I guess a HELOC would work. I get that. But can you just explain? Hold on one second. Somebody's passing with music. Okay, so real quick, to summarize. So the question is, from an investment standpoint, the tenants are paying the mortgage, they're paying the interest, which I really don't care, but I do care. But if my goal is to save monies to purchase other additional properties, if I take that money and pay off the mortgage or the principal, what are some scenarios or some examples where I can tap into that equity that I just paid off so I can essentially keep recycling the same monies over and over again?
Okay, Mitch. Listen, man, we're trying to get things up for you here, but I can let's.
John, if you're speaking, you're on mute right now.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
All right. So, folks, I have no idea what happened. Somehow, somebody, probably was in the back trying to see somebody's profile, and one of the moderators hit in the room. But so wait just a second. I gotta get a drink of water.
Yeah, while he's getting that drink of water, wanted to make sure. I know you got Mitch on stage there in Clubhouse, but I just want to make sure we follow back up with Alfonso. He was on stage when we lost the room, and he's joined us online along with Nicole. Nicole also has a question as well. So I just want to make sure we kind of get all of those, Jared. Wanted to make sure you knew that we do have them connected back in, but some of them have joined us on YouTube and their comments are coming in online.
Okay. Well, listen, folks, we have over 80 shows. 80. This is our 81st show. That's the first time that mistake has been made. But you know what? We're going to keep going. Hopefully that'll be the last time it's made, but this is the first time that has been made. And so what was I talking about when we got cut off? Oh, prepayment penalties?
Yes, that was Alfonso's question. Yes.
Okay. Alfonso, is Alfonso back in on Clubhouse? Let's see if we can get him back in here on Clubhouse so we can talk to him about prepayment penalties. So here's the thing, folks. If I change one word in that whole phrase, prepayment, I would change it to prepayment cost. There is a cost to prepaying. Okay. Oh, he says Alfonso's got his hands up in Clubhouse.
Yeah, he's got his hand. He's trying to come to the stage.
All right. I'm not seeing. He's got it. Okay, Alfonso, you back?
Yes, I am.
All right. Sorry, man. I don't know what happened here. So let's go over that. All right. So basically, it's this: you have the right to pay off your mortgage at any time. All right. So, but if there is some sort of penalty, then what we want to do is what we haven't done in the past. We hear the word penalty, and all we want to do is avoid. I want to avoid penalties. Is that correct?
Yeah.
All right. But what if I know that there's a cost? I'm going to charge you to prepay this loan. is there anything that would make it worth the charge?
Yeah, if the charge is lesser than the cost of the loan,
Mhm.
then I think that would be feasible to take into account.
So, have you ever thought about that when it comes to a prepayment penalty? Has anybody said,
No,
let me do the
right
math.
now,
Let me do the math to figure out if the penalty is worse than paying off the loan? Can I give you a quick example of what we did this for a client in Canada? Because in America, there are not many prepayment penalties, if any, on residential mortgages. Okay. But in Canada, they have a lot of prepayment penalties on residential mortgages, and also in Bermuda. How about that?
yeah.
So I did this for a client in Canada, and let's just make a long story short, I'm able to save them by prepaying their loan $100,000 in interest. Okay. But they had a prepayment penalty. On the bank's website, you can actually calculate what your prepayment penalty would be. We put in all the numbers in their website, and their prepayment penalty was $1,200. So they could save $100,000. They never did the math before. So now that we know that, if we know that our prepayment penalty is $1,200, should we just go ahead and save the $100,000 in interest we don't have to pay now? Alfonso.
Yeah, I'm here.
Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
So that's what we need to figure out. Whatever whatever it is, let's do the math. Let's figure it out. And we do all of that for our clients. So if they have a prepayment penalty, we're going to make sure that whatever they're doing, we're going to make sure that they're going to come out with on the long end of this stick, and the bank is going to come out on the short end of the stick, because by using the term prepayment penalty without knowing what the penalty is, that is a huge mistake, to keep paying tons and tons of interest when we don't even know what the penalty is.
Right. And the last follow-up question,
Yes.
just so I can get clarification, even though you're making early payments, you still have to stay on schedule with your monthly payments.
Definitely.
Okay.
But instead of making 360 payments, how about making 83 or 90 and be done?
Right. But you have to make them consecutively.
Oh, yes. You can't skip payments here.
Okay.
You just make fewer of them.
All right. So that was the clarification I needed at the end.
There you
Thank
go.
you so much, Don. I do appreciate it.
You are so welcome. Who's next? Oh, we were talking to someone else. Mitch. Hey, Mitch.
Hey, Mitch, you there? All right, so Kirk, let's go ahead and jump to the person online that had a question. Kirk, if you're speaking, we can't hear you on Clubhouse.
Yeah, his mic is off right now. Kirk, you there? So let me go ahead and see if these are.
And Mitch, can you hear us? If you're speaking, your mic is on mute. You just got to click that microphone icon, and yeah.
All right, and I'm not seeing. Wait, also make. Oh, okay. I just answered that question, and it was Nicole that had a question. And let me see here. We're going to put that on. Do you risk having late payments counted against you if you prepay and then take a couple of months to build a larger? Oh, no, you can have a payment every single month, Nicole. You cannot skip payments. There's a payment every single month. What we're doing is making sure you pay the least amount of interest possible. And so you're not using your money to pay your mortgage to build up your stash. You gotta make sure you're making that payment every single month. So here's how we're breaking that down, folks. You've got to pay all of you got to have a budget. You're paying your bills. All right. You're paying yourself first. Then you're putting money away in savings. then you are, you're having a little fun. You're putting some money away in savings. You're making the minimum payments on your debt, and then you're paying the rest of your bills like food and clothing and electricity and gasoline. So once you pay all of that, then you know about how much money you have left over at the end of the month. That's what you're building your stash up with. You're building up your what we call a facilitating account. So you're putting that in savings. And then every 3 or 4 months or so, you're tapping into that savings account. Then the program tells you exactly how much money to pull out of that savings account and to apply it to the debt, knocking down months and killing a ton of interest. Then over the next 2, 3, 4 months, we're building up that savings account again after you pay all of your bills, and whatever is left, we're building that savings account up again. And those are the funds we're using to kill these loans. I hope that makes it clear. Anybody, do we have any other questions online? Jarrett.
All right. Yeah, we have a question on stage. I'm not sure. I can't see online because,
I'm sorry. I was talking about on stage. I'm sorry, Jarrett.
Yep. We got Gina on the stage. So Gina, thank you for coming up. Let us know what your question is.
Oh, thank you for allowing me to ask the question. Yes, it's regarding the earnings report and the book. Is the earnings report separate from the book, or is it contained in the book?
No, it's something that we do for each individual. You have to go to our website to input that information, and then we will do a savings and earnings report for you. The savings and earnings report is specific to your information. It is not an article like a news article. It's a report that says here's when you are going to be out of debt, the month, day, and year. Here's how much interest you will save when it's all said and done. So it's specific to you.
Okay, thank you. That was my question. Thank you.
All right. Do you know how to get to the savings and earnings report?
I do.
Excellent. The book will kind of help you to understand it, though.
Okay, good to know. Thank you, Don.
You are so welcome, Miss Gina. What other questions we got, sir? I got kind of discombobbled when I got knocked off the line.
Yeah, it's all good. We're back. And just like you said in the Mindset Conference, it's not about what happens to you, it's how we react and we bounce back.
There you go. There you go, my brother.
Yeah, there we go. So, real quick, do we have a hard stop at the 30-minute mark?
Yeah, we do.
Okay, perfect. All right. So Maria has a question. I think she's just having a little technical difficulty with the savings report.
Mm-hmm.
So any you can give her, that would be great. So what I know there's sometimes an issue with the savings earnings report in terms of area code. Any guidance when it comes to that?
Where is Maria?
Hi, I'm in Florida.
All right, Maria, here's what you're going to do. So if you're on there, I'll give you just a bit of, we need to verify your cell phone number to keep the robots out. Mm-hmm. Okay. So when you put your information in on the first page and it says to confirm your cell phone number, wait for the code to come to your cell phone as a message.
Okay, then what do I do with that?
Take that code and then put it in the space on the website that says put it here, put that code there.
Okay, then go to the website and then
Yeah, then put the code in. But if you keep clicking the button, you're going to get a new code every time, which means the other code has expired.
Yes, and that's what I've been doing. It's not working.
Okay, so but the instructions are right there. They may be light, but they're right there to tell you exactly what to do.
I'm not seeing that because
So when you put,
thank you.
You got it?
Yep.
There you go. Looking forward to working with you.
Same here.
All righty.
All right, so we're about to wrap the room up since we got 5 minutes left. I want to tell you about the event that's happening May 20th to the 22nd in Nashville. But one last time, Don, for the 50 people in the room that are wanting to get that savings and earnings report, can you please just give them one last call to action so they know how to do it?
Listen, folks, go to ICE 10K Live. I'm sorry. Yes, ICE10KLive.com. You can also go to ICE 10K videos, but go to ICE10KLive.com. There's a button there that says get a savings and earnings report. Click on that button, follow all of the directions. We're going to verify that there is your cell phone to keep the robots out, but then we're going to send you that code. Take the code, put it into the website. That'll let you into the form when you click on, yeah, you want to save money. It's going to ask you, do you want to save money? When you put that code in, when you click, yes, I want to save money, it will let you into the form. When it lets you into the form, put in your financial information. Someone from my staff will give you a call and set up a consultation for you. It is just that easy. All right.
And before we wrap up, this is the most important part of the room because this is the event that you do not want to miss. Don, what is happening May 20th to the 22nd in Nashville? Please let everybody know.
Let's put it up there, folks. We're talking about a mindset. And I think we had an example earlier of why mindset is so important. When you've been thinking that things have been working a certain way, it is hard to see them any other way, even though the information you're receiving seems to be better than your old information. Having the right mindset is so important. And the reason why we're doing this spiritual money mindset, let me give you just a little bit example when you click on the link. All right. When you click on that link above on above here, or you go to even ice10klive.com and you click on tickets, what you're going to see are fantastic speakers, 16 of them that are going to be at this conference. They're going to be talking about mindset. They're going to be talking about their expertise. So we're at a 5-star resort. This is the P.I.L.L Method's very first conference of this sort, the very first one. So we've got 16 of the best speakers around the country that are coming to this thing. They're coming. We have the #1 motivational speaker on the planet coming to this, and we're at a 5-star resort. So, Don, I'm getting asked this question all the time. At your very first conference, why at a 5-star resort? At a motel and get a small meeting room and start there. Or why not get somebody else? Why do you have to get the #1 motivational speaker in the world to come in and talk about mindset? And I'm going to tell you the real reason why. It's because of one of the things that I heard from Dr. Eric Thomas, who is our keynote speaker. You know, E.T., the hip hop preacher, #1 motivational speaker in the world. I heard him talking about being average, starting at average. Folks, I'm 67 years old. I don't have time to start at average. I got to start at phenomenal. I've got to start there because I don't have time to build it up. It's important for me to get this information out to everyone who needs to know how to level up their mindset before I leave this planet. I don't have time to start out at average. I'm inviting you to be with me May 20th through the 22nd so that you can, so E.T. talks about you can either be phenomenal or be forgotten. And folks, I want to be phenomenal, not forgotten. I don't have time. At age 67, I don't have time to start out at mediocre. We got to go all the way to phenomenal. And I want you to hear a little bit from E.T. right now, talking about why I'm inviting you to experience this with us May 20th through the 22nd in Nashville, Tennessee. Come on, E.T., talk to
This is an opportunity of a lifetime. Your grandma counting on you to do the right thing. Your mama counting on you. Your cousins, your brothers and sisters are counting on you to cash in on this opportunity. Everybody want to be a beast until it's time to do what beasts do. There are kids that don't get what they don't eat like you eat. They're at the same university. They don't get what you get. But with this right here, your skill set, this thing can take you wherever you want to go and then take your kids wherever you want them to go. You know how many people would die to have the gear y'all got? You know how many people would die to get on these planes and travel the world? You know how many people would die to have your life? And you got it. Let's go. You got money, but do you got that dog? Yeah, you got money, you got privilege, but do you got that dog? Do you got that stamina? So yeah, you might have something I don't have right now, but if I work hard, I can have what you have. I want you to chant it out. This is it. Be phenomenal or be forgotten. 1, 2, 3. Be phenomenal, be forgotten. 1, 2, 3. Last time. 1, 2, 3.
Folks, at 67, I don't have time to start out at mediocre. We have to go all the way. And listen, some of you need to find this information out like before I did. It took me years to get to this mindset. Listen, what if I had this in my 20s or 30s or 40s? And now that I'm 67, man, how far could I have been if I had started back then? So folks, I want to get this information out to you. I want to have these speakers come to you and talk about the mindset that got them there. This is the only conference that I've ever heard of at this level to bring to you this type of information. And folks, I don't have time to play around. I got to get this information out. You know, somebody said, don't die with your information in you. I can't afford to wait. Let's get it out there now. And I'm inviting you to be there. All right, let's go ahead and do our outros. And because of what we lost today, look for me to hop back in here on a pop-up in the mortgage syndicate today. A little bit later, we're going to get some more information out. I won't have all my moderators with me, but just hang out with me just in case you had a few more questions. Look for me. Look for us in that club, a mortgage syndicate, and I'm going to answer a few more questions about where we're going. All right. Thank you very much, Jared. Back to you, sir.
All right. So yeah, if you want to get that savings and earnings report, you can go to ice10kreport.com. If you want to get his book, you can go to ice10kbook.com. And if you want to be at that conference, you can go to smmindset.com or click the link at the top, and make sure you're following Don. Click the always on notifications for him so that when he does the pop-up room today, you'll be alerted and you can ask those questions. All right, so we're going to do moderator outros. We're going to start from the bottom and go to the top. And again, want to thank all the mothers in the room for being amazing. Happy Mother's Day to all of you. And we appreciate you for being here. Make sure you click that greenhouse at the top and follow the P.I.L.L Method Club, and go ahead and join us. We do these rooms Monday at 8 a.m. Eastern time. We'll be doing it Friday at 8 a.m. Eastern time and Sunday at 9:30 a.m. Eastern time. And you can catch Don at the Business Over Breakfast Club on Wednesdays. So Dr. Jekyll, thank you so much for coming to the stage, and we'd love for you to come back and ask about commercial real estate because we talk about that often. But Dr. Jekyll, you got it. Dr. Jekyll, if you're speaking, you're on mute.
Okay. I thought you meant you got it as a coming back for the commercial property. Yeah. So, yeah, it was great to be here while I was here. Licensed naturopathic physician, business coach, Forbes contributor, and Amazon bestseller. And I'm actually coming out with a book just to follow me on Instagram on long COVID and beyond, natural medicine approaches. But yeah, I was definitely here to learn. I'm in the process of buying a commercial property in the next few months. So I was really here to listen and learn, and often in these real estate rooms for that reason.
Awesome. Definitely come back on Monday. We do this room at 8 a.m. Eastern time. If you can pop in, we'd love to get to your commercial real estate question. He has a ton of examples for clients. He's done millions of dollars in savings in those in that respect. All right, DM Woods, you're up next.
Hey, what's going on? Hey, Don, that was Les Brown that talked about the graveyard and it being one of the most valuable places on earth, and not to die with it. But my name is DM Woods. I'm a dating coach, 2-time #1 bestselling author. Absolutely love this conversation. I love the knowledge that you're bringing to others in this space, Don. So keep doing your thing. And additionally, like I said, my 9 to 5, I'm a commercial lender. So it's always good to see it and hear it and find new ways of looking at things, man. So thank you so much for what you're doing. And I'm going to pass the mic over to the pirate, Ashley.
Yep. And Ashley might be at church service doing Mother's Day duty, but we really, really appreciate her for coming up and supporting the room. If you're not following Ashley, you absolutely must. She is one of the best moderators on Clubhouse. She runs some really amazing rooms. In the real estate talk, she supports a lot of different real estate rooms on Clubhouse. And she also does a lot of rooms in women in business and women empowerment rooms as well. The Phenomenal Women Leading Club and a lot of different things. So powerful women doing powerful things. You definitely want to check out Ashley if you've never followed her before. Follow her now, and she will be a speaker at the Nashville event on May 20th to the 22nd. So
That is amazing information. We just brought her on because I'm doing a lot of rooms with the BOB crew. Ashley saw some benefit in this. Dr. Ashley saw some benefit in this, and Dr. Ashley says, "I want to be a part of this too. Is there any way we can make it happen?" And I said, "Dr. Ashley, for you, we're going to find a way to make it happen. Folks, you want to be there in the building. I'm inviting you to be there in the building. Get your ticket, book your room. We can get you a special room rate for $279 instead of the $549 that they are asking for. We've negotiated to get that down to $279 a night. So listen, be in the place. I'm inviting you to get your spiritual money mindset on.
Absolutely. Tickets will sell out soon, so make sure you get them today. All right, Crystal, you're up next.
Good morning. Hey, Mr. Don. Hey, Jared. Good morning, everyone. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers. So I just wanted to say I'm so excited, Mr. Don. I have a trip booked to Atlanta that weekend, but I canceled it. And I booked a ticket for Nashville yesterday, and I will be attending your conference because you and your wife blessed me so much when I met you all at the Get Access tour in Atlanta. You guys, it was 2:30 in the morning. They came down from their room, and we were still, many of us that were in the event, were still hanging out at the hotel's restaurant. They came down, they took pictures. He went back upstairs and got books and signed them and gifted me a second book and took pictures at 2:30 in the morning. So that's dedication. And this is after he presented a phenomenal presentation on how to pay your mortgage and any other installment loan off early. So this is the caliber of man that you would be supporting when you come to Nashville. So if you're on the fence about it, I just told you I canceled a trip. And Atlanta is my second home. I was going for something special that weekend, but I can do that another time because I don't want to miss this event. I don't want to miss an opportunity to support someone who has such a big heart and is so giving. And I know this is going to be an amazing experience because just the brief presentation he gave in Atlanta was amazing. So I'm looking forward to seeing you and your lovely wife again and all the others, Jared, you and everyone else I met in Atlanta at the Get Access tour. And I know Nashville is going to be explosive. So if you guys don't have your tickets, you better get there and don't hesitate.
Amazing. I love that, Crystal. Definitely clip that and look forward to seeing you again in Nashville. And yeah, your network is your net worth. And the speakers alone, click the link at the top and just look at the speakers. Jay Massey, Anthony Glenn, Jonathan Bing, Ms. Cooper Home Loans. We got Kenyatta Butcher, Dr. Ashley Wilkerson, Dr. Eric Thomas, E.T. Hiphop Preacher. This is so much value that's going to be in the building, not only with tangible real estate advice and ways to make money and how to be successful, but also the mindset that helps them become successful. So definitely make sure you pull up. Credit Goddess, you're up next.
Thank you. Happy Sunday and happy Mother's Day to everyone. Great room as usual. I love learning. I love the questions that you guys ask. It just lets us know that you guys are open to new information and start building generational wealth and kind of connecting all of this together. So I commend you guys for even coming back the second time around. My name is Rose Laura Lewis, also known as Credit Goddess. I'm a credit score improvement strategist, business credit consultant. If any of you guys are interested in my services to improve your credit so that way you can gain access to other people's money, because the key to good credit is gaining access to other people's money. If you are looking for that, definitely tap in with me. Send your name and email address to the number in my bio. That is 888-557-5778. Send your name and email address, and an automated message will be sent to you to book your consultation. You can do a free one. You can do a paid one. The difference is paid version gives you a detailed credit analysis where we would go over on a 30-minute call to tell you exactly what you need to do with your credit and to improve it. So instead of guessing, this will cut out all the guesswork and get you right into the game and how to prove your credit so that way we can gain access to other people's money in a quicker manner. So thank you guys so much for being here on this Mother's Day. You didn't have to, but again, thank you for guys for being here. So we'll see you tomorrow at 8 a.m. Monday. Bye.
Absolutely. And as always, we appreciate your presence and pray that we earn the privilege of your time. Again, I am Kenyatta. You can find me at kenyatta10k.com. And I am passionate about helping you reach your goals, so much so that on May 21st, while at the Spiritual Money Mindset, I will be sitting down with you and coming up with a plan, even put money in your hands for your deals, for your businesses. We're going to get it started right then, right there. No better time than then. So if you are interested in that, even if, you can't make it and you still have been showing up to this room and you want to partake in that, go ahead and give me a call at 844-396-0365. Do that, back channel me, and I'll make sure that you'll still be able to get that. Thank you.
Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is Jared Albritton. If you're interested in learning how to grow on Clubhouse, how to run rooms, how to build your network, build out a club, all that good stuff, I'm actually running a room on Monday at 2 p.m. Eastern time. And it's the next one in my bio. We'd love for you to pull up. I don't really talk about this often, but there was definitely a strategy and an intention behind how I grew on this app. And it's really by focusing on leading with value. So it's a mindset that I'll actually be talking about in Nashville on May 20th to the 22nd that has helped me get to where I'm at today, which is leading with value, having an abundant mindset, having a gratitude mindset, trying to figure out how to help other people win and create win-wins. And this room on Monday is just me giving back to the Clubhouse community that is new to the app, that is figuring out, how do I start? How do I write a bio? How do I, build out a community on this app? How do I get a return on the investment of my time? So definitely check me out tomorrow. Click the link in my bio, which is the next room. And then also check out my replays and you can see how I do what I do. And we'll be back on Monday at 8 a.m. Eastern time to talk more about the P.I.L.L method. And I would love to see you in Nashville, where I'll be talking about the metaverse, Web 3.0, crypto, and NFT, and how to have a spiritual money mindset going into the future and being an early adopter into all of these amazing spaces and how to get started in a tangible way. All right, Don, we're going to give you the last word and we're going to close this thing out.
Well, actually, we need to hear from Kirk first. Kirk, are you available? I know, because I know you got a lot of stuff going on. I guess he's not available right now, but that's okay. So, folks, here we go. The last thing I want to talk to you about is we're going to give Dr. Eric Thomas the last word. But again, we're starting out at phenomenal. We're starting out as a number one conference of this type in the world. Nothing like this has ever been done before at this level. And so we wanted to start out at the best. 5-star resort, 5-star talent, 5-star food, 5-star everything, because we don't have time. At age 67, I don't have time to start out at mediocre. We need to start out at phenomenal. I'll see you tomorrow. I'll see you later on today at a pop-up, but we at our regular scheduled time tomorrow at 7 a.m. Central, 8 a.m. Eastern. But for today, the last word will be Dr. Eric Thomas. See you later on today on a pop-up.
This is an opportunity of a lifetime. Your grandma counting on you to do the right thing. Your mama counting on you. Your cousins, your brothers and sisters are counting on you to cash in on this opportunity. Everybody want to be a beast until it's time to do what beasts do. There are kids that don't eat like you eat. They're at the same university. They don't get what you get. But with this right here, your skill set, this thing can take you wherever you want to go and then take your kids wherever you want them to go. You know how many people would die to have the gear y'all got? You know how many people would die to get on these planes and travel the world? You know how many people would die to have your life? And you got it. Let's go. You got money, but do you got that dog? Yeah, you got money, you got privilege, but do you got that dog? Do you got that stamina? So yeah, you might have something I don't have right now, but if I work hard, I can have what you have. I want you to chant it out. This is it. Be phenomenal or be forgotten. 1, 2, 3. Be phenomenal, be forgotten. 1, 2, 3. Be phenomenal, be forgotten. Last time. 1, 2, 3. Be phenomenal, be forgotten.